Got an easy how-to video to upgrade your cornhole boards to a self-sufficient, solar-powered, LED lit set of cornhole boards. Let's get started. Here's the game plan. So we're going to carve out a little tiny shoulder all the way around the entire cornhole board, just thick enough to undermount this strip of LED lights, and then connect it to a little solar panel that I'm going to flush mount and embed in the bottom of the board, and then cover it with some clear plexiglass so it doesn't really affect the gameplay. So my worry is that the manufacturer of these boards might have used screws or nails to keep this top board attached to the 2x4s. But there's a trick you can do where you take some magnets and you can run it along where you think those screws or nails might be to kind of give you an idea whether or not there's some there. These are really strong magnets, and I got no hits on any metal, so I think they just use glue. But I'm going to play it safe and just use my track saw to go and do some light passes, maybe a 1/4 inch at a time, before I go too deep, because I don't want to cut through any big nails or screws.
I wasn't happy with the shoulder line that the track saw made. It didn't provide a flat or smooth enough surface for the peel and stick LED lights to stick to, so I took my router and I cleaned up that line a little bit. Here I'm carving out some of the egg foam to make room for the wooden circle that's going to be mounted on the inside or underside of the board to support the LED lights that are going to round the inside of that circle. Make sure when you're using a router bit that you're moving your project piece against the rotation of the spinning bit. So never with the direction of the bit, but always against it. Here you can see I begin to start making the holes for the solar panel and the plexiglass. I thought I could get away with just drilling completely through for the battery section of the solar panel, but you'll see later in the video I actually had to carve out a much larger hole because the solar panel is tapered and it's a little bit thicker as it gets towards the center, so I didn't have enough meat to hold up the solar panel with just the battery hole. So you'll see I just carved out about a 1/4 inch left at the end to rest the solar panel on top of. I've used this exact set of solar paneled LED lights 3 times now, and they work great. And the reason I use them is because you can easily Frankenstein them, take the components apart, and kind of move them around. What I mean is there's a solar sensor that's attached to the LED light section, which you can just take off and then attach it straight to the solar section, and then attach any form of lighting you want to, such as the strip lights that I'm putting on the LED boards here. It did take a little bit of creativity to see how I was going to mount it in this particular use case, because then that little solar sensor needed to be flush with the plexiglass. And so here I've kind of chopping off some extra plastic pieces and super gluing them for support before I glue it to the actual side of the board. And here I'm hooking up the lights for the very first time, making sure that all the connections work, and then that solar sensor also still works. I needed one more specific chunk of plastic off of the old case, which is the cover for the electronics. So this is obviously going to be outside, so I'm going to make it as somewhat waterproof as I can, put that piece back on. Now I'm doing the first set of router carving out just the depth of the plexiglass, which is about 1/8 of an inch. And then later on I'm going to take the router and go a little bit deeper with the depth of the solar panel plus the depth of the plexiglass. Taking a little knife and carving out the channel in the egg foam so I can run the power line from the solar panel to the circle area. In the next scene, you're going to see me pull off that film off of the plexiglass, and this is the moment in every project that a maker just relishes in, where the idea that you've had in your head truly comes to life, and you know that the execution is going to work pretty well, and you're really happy with the project at that point. And that's what's happening right now. I ended up purchasing these right angle 90-degree LED connections items, so the corners would be really tight. I didn't want to kind of fold the LED lights around the corner, it would look bad, so you can chop them off at a certain point, push them into these little connectors, and then these teeth push down on it, bite into the electrical components in the light, and then you can have really good looking corners if you use these pieces. I'll put a link for these products in the description below. I don't trust the peel and stick stickiness of almost any LED strip lighting that comes with a purchase these days, so I typically will follow it up with some super glue, especially since these are going to be living outside. The boards turned out great. I've tested them for a week now with about 5 or 6 hours of charging in the sun during the day. They stay on straight in full brightness, as you can see here, for about 4 hours into the night. There's a switch on the bottom where I can turn it off, so if you're done with them, charge them for the next day, put them away, and then the batteries should be pretty good, even months later when you want to play. But very happy how the project came out. It's super bright during the night, so you can kind of see where the bags need to go in the hole. And again, self-service, self-sufficient solar panel. No plugging in or charging of battery packs that I've seen some other makers make. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and if this video was helpful or you liked it in any way, I would appreciate a subscribe and a like. Thanks again.